TsubakiSwagg, and I'm coming to you with my review of Naruto, episode 360, Jonin Leader. Okay. This episode, Kakashi was kind of intimidating. I wouldn't want to be one of his students either before he met like Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura. Because like they show when Kakashi was little, of course, in the last episode they talked about Kakashi, Lord Third telling Kakashi that he wanted him to be a Jonin so he could be a Genin leader, squad leader or whatever. So in this episode they show like what Kakashi and Rin and Obito went through when they were training with Minato before all this stuff happened, when they first became a group. And Kakashi pretty much swore that he wasn't going to let anyone become a Genin. Well, he wasn't going to let anyone become a Genin until they realized that the only way that they could really ever become a team is with teamwork. And he wanted to prevent what happened with his group to ever happen again, which was why he literally failed everyone that he came into contact with. Well, all of the people who were trying to become Genins that he came into contact with, he literally failed all of them because they didn't show the qualities that he wanted to see in them. Which I can understand why, because he went through so much stuff, but it had been so long since all of that happened, and he was still letting it pretty much run his life. And you can still see the darkness within Kakashi because of all the other stuff that he went through being in Anbu. It's really only pushed him further into darkness after what he went through, after having killed him thinking that he pretty much killed Obito and Rin. So I mean, it's understandable that Kakashi is the way he is, but he literally failed everyone. And Guy and Asuma, they don't really understand why Kakashi is so distant. And then we find out that part of the reason why Lord Third put him in charge of training Genin in squads was partially because Guy and Asuma, and I can never remember her name, they went to Lord Third and pretty much begged him to take Kakashi out of Anbu so he would stop being pushed further and further into darkness, because if he stayed in there it would have only gotten worse, which was really sad. But in that, like, they showed probably not all of them, but every group that he was supposed to help become Genin, he failed all of them. Every group came back to him and told him that they were grateful for him and that they were happy that he failed them because they finally understand what they were doing wrong. And it was really sweet but sad. And I don't know, it's hard to explain, but this episode, it was pretty awesome. I liked, they finally got to show a softer side of Kakashi, because Kakashi blushed whenever everybody came up to him and was telling him that they were grateful for him, and he just didn't understand the concept of anybody being grateful for him after all the stuff that he had been through. So this episode, it was pretty awesome. And throughout this whole episode, he still relied on Minato. Even though Minato wasn't there, he still relied on Minato and tried to do what he believed Minato would do in that situation, and was asking Minato if he was even doing the right thing, if he should even really be failing all these people. But I believe that Kakashi did the right thing, and in all of that, they show that Lord Third, he picked, of course, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura to pretty much be his group. It was a secret, so Kakashi didn't know of this, but they were going to be his group, which led them to become group 7, if I remember correctly. It's been so long since that was brought up, but this episode was pretty awesome. I liked it. It was really sad but sweet and funny. But Kakashi and that stank eye is really, really creepy. It's almost as bad as the Yamato stare, if not worse. So I don't know. There's neither here nor there. But this episode, I liked it. I give it a thumbs up. Even though I'm personally not partial to fillers, but the fillers that they've been showing are pretty good, so I like it. But anyways, as always, please remember to comment, rate, and subscribe. I would ask if what y'all think is going to happen in the next episode, but it's pretty much still probably going to be filler. So that's neither here nor there. But as always, this is TsubakiSwagg saying adios.